Hey Savvy people, it's SavvyNik here, and today I'll continue with episode 15 in the C++ tutorial for beginners. In this episode, we'll be covering break, continue, and goto statements. So let's first start out by talking about break and continue. So what break does is this is a statement that ends or breaks out of a loop. So if you had a loop iterating and you wanted to end that loop at some point, you can simply use break and you will actually end the loop at that spot. As far as continue goes, this is a statement that skips or continues on to the next iteration. So perhaps you wanted to skip over one iteration, you would use the continue statement. So let's dive into a couple examples here. We'll also talk about goto towards the end. Make sure to support the channel by subscribing below and hitting the notification bell for more Linux and programming videos. Alright, and in a past episode, we used for and while loops and did some examples of those. Today we'll be using a for loop to show how to use a break and continue statement. So first I'll define some integer called num, short for number, and we can set this equal to whatever. Let's just start with 10 and continue on down. And we'll do for some new integer, we'll call it I equal to 0. So remember, in a for loop, we first initialize some value if we want to. Then we check for some conditions. So I'm checking if this I is less than or equal to the number above that we created. And if it is, it'll stop using this for loop. And then I'll put I++. So we iterate I by 1 every time we go through the loop. And in this example, I want to only display numbers that are even. And I can do this by putting in an if statement and saying if I, and we're going to use the modulus operator, which we've talked about. All this does is finds the remainder of a number. So if we do I mod 2, every single time I is an even number, we would expect the remainder to be 0. So 2 mod 2 would be 0. 4 mod 2, there's no remainder, it would be 0, and so on and so forth. So I can put not equal to 0, and then I'll put my curly braces again, and in here I'm just writing continue. Then below here, I'll write cout, and I'll spit something out at the user in the console, and I'm going to write out I, and just put an end line to make things look better. So basically all this does is checks if I is currently a odd number. If it is, that means it will have a remainder, and if it does have a remainder, let's continue on and not print it out. So we would expect first time through the loop, we'll have a 0. 0 mod 2 is in fact a even number, so we would see 0 written out. Then the next time through the loop, I becomes 1. 1 mod 2 is in fact not equal to 0, which would skip right over the statement and start on the next iteration here in the for loop. So let's give it a shot. We'll make sure to compile our program and run it. And we see we got 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10, just like we expected. So that's an example of using a continue statement. It just continues on to the next iteration. Fairly simple. So what happens if you wanted not to include 0? Of course, you can start I from 1. And the real neat thing about this is I can change this number to 100 if I wanted to. Let's make that 100, or you can even use user input. And let's run this again after compiling. And we have all the even numbers between 0 and 100. So you can make something pretty powerful using a simple continue statement and a for loop. All right, so what if we created a break here and we just typed in break? Well, we said that a break would break out of this entire for loop. So in this example, the very first number that's not a even number is going to break out of this for loop. So we would see maybe 0 displayed and nothing else. So let's give this a shot. First I'll compile, then I'll run the program. And that's exactly what we got, just a 0, because this break makes you fall out of this for loop. And if you went ahead and made it this far, please hit the like button for me. It really does help me out. And another thing I want to mention, the break and continue statements only break and continue inside the currently nested for loop. So since break is nested in between these curly braces that belong to this for loop, or the scope of this for loop, it will only break out of here. So for example, if we just did another for loop real quick, we'll say int j equal to 0, and then j less than some number, let's just do 2, we'll do j++. So all this will do is iterate over this inside for loop twice. So let's take a look at the scopes. So we have the scope of this for loop is between these curly braces, and the scope of the second for loop on the outside is between these curly braces. So this break will only break out of this for loop. Let's give this a shot. I think we'll see 2 zeros in this case. Compile and run the program, and we got 2 zeros. So that's just something to keep in mind. If you use the break or continue, it doesn't affect every for loop, only the one that the break or continue is nested in. All right, now I want to make mention of the goto statement. So goto works something like this. You might write goto some name, and then that some name will show up later in the program, and any statements will get executed that are below this some name. So really, as the code's just going through here, if it reaches a goto statement, it just jumps to a different line of code wherever this some name is defined. Of course, this can be any kind of a name that you create. So this one jumps to the line of code where some name is defined. One important thing that I'll mention is that the goto statement really isn't used too often because it just makes the program convoluted when it doesn't necessarily need to be. You can check conditions instead and lead your program using flow control to a certain portion that you want to run instead of jumping around your program. Nowadays, it's not considered best practice to use these, so try avoiding that. I just wanted to show that it does exist in case you run into it. So let's do an example real quick. We'll use a while statement for this one. And we know if we do a while and then we write true inside, this is an infinite loop that will just keep running and running forever. But there is a way here to get around it. And what I want to do is I'm going to print out a number I, and let me create I up here. So I'm saying int I equal to 0. If I let this run as it is right now, it would just keep printing I and incrementing it by 1 every single time through this while loop. And the while loop is always true, therefore it would run to infinity. But let's try using the goto statement in order to fix this infinite loop. I'll type in if I is double equal to 5, then I will do something. And for this example, I use the goto, and I'm going to write out finished, and then I'll just make finished down here. So what is going to happen here? We're going to begin inside this infinite loop. It's going to start printing out numbers and counting up. As it's counting up, if we ever have I equal to 5, then we will execute this statement, which says go to the finished line. So that finished line is located here on line 17. So the program will jump from being inside this while loop to this line of code, which returns 0 out of the main function and ends the program execution. Let's give this a shot. I'll compile things, then I'll run. And as expected, we got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you might be asking why we didn't get a 5. Well, if we wanted a 5, we should have done plus plus I, not the other way around. Because technically we printed out the number, then we incremented it by 1. Therefore, when it was on 4, it printed out 4, incremented it by 1, and we went into this if statement because 5 is equal to 5 at that point, and we finished up our program. Again, goto statements aren't really used that often. This is just in case you come across them. You know what you're looking at and what you're working with. Well, that's about it. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please make sure to post them in the comments section below. Also, make sure to subscribe for future videos and make sure to like the video. Catch me in a great community on Discord, and I'll catch you in another video. Thanks for watching.